consider it marriage by common law. But our next guests have taken it a step further with eternity commitments. Now, it's a lifelong commitment to your significant other without a traditional marriage. Todd Stevenson and Dr. Dusty Bechtel have written a book about this, and to them, they say it just makes more sense. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Let's begin with how you met, and then we'll get into the EC.
Okay. We actually met a couple years ago through Match.com.
Okay.
And we had both been through a couple of divorces, the horror of divorce, the financial hardship that went along with it, and both of us were pretty much bound and determined never to take that marriage step again, just because of the divorce aspect to it.
There's such a fear there for a lot of people.
Exactly. It's it's horrifying, and it's just such a traumatic experience that you just don't want to do it again. But as our relationship grew, we really did have that idea of spending a lifetime together, and so that's where the concept of an eternity commitment was developed.
Well, we were talking about common law. I mean, it's not legal here in Arizona, and you say in all 50 states, correct?
Yeah, all 50 states have pretty much abolished common law, except for a few caveats and some. If you portray yourself as married, then the state may consider you married.
Okay, so compare then marriage to this eternity commitment, and how is it different?
Okay, there's 3 commitments involved in marriage, and 2 of those 3 also apply to the eternity commitment. The first commitment is of love and companionship, which is the most important, which is the personal commitment. The second one is the faith-based commitment, or the spiritual commitment, oftentimes a wedding or a ceremony, of course the ring. And Dusty has an eternity commitment ring, which is basically a ring with stones around the band. And then the third one is the financial commitment. Now that's where the eternity commitment and marriage differ.
Okay.
The eternity commitment has a self-defined financial structure where basically we just share expenses. Our assets,
it's like a business partnership.
a joint venture business
okay.
partnership. Marriage is more like a 50-50 business partnership, where all income earned is joint income, all debt is joint debt, all liabilities joint liabilities. All, you know, the pension plans, investments, etc. They're all owned by the community. But with an eternity commitment, those remain sole and separate.
And you say because of this, people who enter into the eternal commitment, basically, or eternity commitment, there's a sense of personal liability, and there's less resentment for people who don't hold up their end of the deal?
Yes. Basically, we feel that the eternity commitment is a safer relationship, both financially and personally. You have asset protection built into the eternity commitment because you never commingle your assets. They always remain separate before and during the relationship. So if you have a separation, what you're really separating is the people.
And that's why a lot of times it gets so darn ugly.
Yes.
Okay, and let's talk about the dysfunctional aspects of marriage. We've talked about money and how difficult it can be to separate assets if in fact that happens.
Yes. Basically, when we were doing our research for this book, we found a whole family of behavior associated with people marrying for money, people divorcing for money, and a recent example of that is the divorce that Paul McCartney may be going through here shortly, where Heather Mills may actually, according to the tabloids, get up to $400 million.
Wow.
People manipulate their spouse while they're married over money issues. And then psychologists have often said that the #1 conflict within a marriage is over money and spending and saving habits. So we believe the eternity commitment is a better structure for a relationship in the 21st century.
There is some paperwork that has to be done, Dusty, for this, and I know that it's right here. It's not necessarily marriage, but it's documentation that is filed, correct?
Yes, it is. It's like a companionship agreement, and basically it says that we have no desire to be married, but we do want to have a lifetime companionship agreement. And so we're saying that we are sole and separate as far as our assets go, and then if there is ever a chance of breaking up, then there's not the grief that is associated with money and possessions.
Well, thank you very much. At least it's just a different way of looking at things this morning, and we appreciate your insight.
Yes,
thank you.
And by the way, if you're interested, we have put a link to the eternity commitment on our website, and just take a look at sonoranliving.com. It's very interesting. I did check it out earlier today. It's an interesting concept. Well, with the holiday season just getting underway, more parties are straight ahead, and that of course means there's a lot more time to eat and less time to work out, unless you